Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Kayla Taylor. Welcome to Mental Health Awareness and Life Challenges. So today we're going to actually talk and battling it. It's a big thing. Millions and millions of Americans deal with depression every day. Sometimes it can be long term, sometimes it can be short term, and sometimes you can just have bouts of depression, just off and on, depending on what's going on in your life. So how do we deal with it? How do we battle it? How do we channel it? Well, let's talk about it first of all. Some of the things that can bring on depression. One, finances can bring on depression. If we're struggling, about to lose our home or our car or just our job, that can definitely bring on depression for a lot of individuals. Losing a loved one, that can bring on depression. Being incarcerated can bring on depression. Having a mental illness can also bring on depression. That's the reason why we're talking about it. And then also having a situation where you just find out something that you didn't know about, maybe a spouse cheating or possibly going through a divorce, that can bring on depression. Changing in careers that you don't want to have to change into, or even getting a boss that you really don't care about, or maybe that is just not the best boss for you, that can bring on depression. So there's a lot of things that can bring on, this environment in general can bring on depression. Just trying to cope with life can bring on depression. So how do we battle it? What are some of the things that we can do to channel our thoughts and how we're feeling? Well, one, we can get exercise. Exercise is a good form of trying to overcome a lot of anxiety and depression, things that are bothering us. So if we exercise, help us get our minds distracted on something else to do other than worry or think about things that, are beyond our control, that are just causing us severe depression. You can talk to loved ones, family members. You can talk to your priest if you have one, if you're Catholic, whatever religion you are. And if you're not religious and you believe in the higher power, you can even seek out the higher power, however it is that helps you to cope and deal with your depression. A lot of times it's good to get away. I go to the beach when I'm feeling kind of blue and thinking about things, and that's how I, help me to gather my thoughts. Or you may want to get into yoga or some mindfulness thinking. Even music. Sometimes music can be soothing to the mind. And it can be whatever music suits you. It doesn't have to be, interludes or soft music. It can be any type of music. Anything that can help you to help yourself to feel better. You can challenge yourself, to let me try this music. Let me see if this works. You can distract your thoughts, go somewhere, go on an outing, go to a movie, play games, think of something you could do, or even play solitaire. Sometimes just sitting at home and playing with yourself in a game of solitaire is great. If you don't know how to play solitaire, you can go on YouTube, of course, and that one gives you many ideas of things that you can do to help cope with your depression. A lot of times deep breathing techniques help. By doing a lot of deep breathing techniques and just trying to distract your thoughts or distract the way you're feeling. So depression is something that can also be treated with medication, depending on the severity of it. Some people can handle it and they feel like, I don't need any medication. I can cope. I have coping strategies that I can use to help me combat my depression. But for others, it may be a little bit more severe, and they may feel like they need some type of medication to help them overcome. Of course, you see your doctor and talk with your doctor about that. But depression can come in all forms and ways, and it can really take you down a dark road. And that's what we don't want to happen, because you can see here in America, we're dealing with a lot of things that are taking place, and a lot of people are affected by it. And it impacts not only families, it impacts the environment, it impacts you and everyone around you, because some individuals, when they get so depressed, they act out. Depression can create criminality. People can start becoming, doing things that are criminal because they are so depressed, or they're starving, or they can't eat, or they're worrying about how they're going to pay the next bill. So that depression takes them to another level. And that's where you should seek out help, because there's also resources out there when you're dealing with depression. You can get counseling, you can get help, get therapy, talk to a life coach. Besides, before you act out, if you get to a place where you're just feeling like, oh, I want to do something to yourself or to somebody, if it gets that severe, seek help before you go out and be destructive with it. Because that's not going to solve the problem. That's just going to make the problem worse. Then you get involved with law enforcement, and then, of course, you're in jail, and that can become depressing. So think about your actions and the things you do when you get depressed, or how you feel when you're depressed. If you feel like you're going to just kind of be angry at the world or at people or everyone around you, then fall back. Think about your actions first before you react. Is this going to affect somebody else? Is my depression going to make things worse for someone else? And if it is, seek help. Get out there and try to help yourself. First law of nature, self-preservation. Right, that's the first law of nature. You have to be a vessel to yourself. You have to be able to preserve yourself. Work on me. Work on self in order to get yourself together, or even to be in a vessel to other people. You have to work on yourself first, right? How could you work on anyone if you're broken? How could you help anybody if you're broken? So you go back to first law of nature, self-preservation. Let me work on me. Let me get myself together, and then I can be a vessel to you and to others. So as we go through this season of holidays, it gets a little depressing for some, because we're either thinking about somebody, or we're missing a loved one, or we have a recent loss in the family. You name it. Birthday comes around, and you're thinking about someone that you had lost. Recent divorce, a breakup, career change, job layoff, you name it. Kids not acting right, just trying to cope with life in general can be very challenging. So one of the most important things for you to do is to really try to focus on things that you can do to distract your thoughts. So, with that being said, I am Dr. Kayla Taylor. Welcome again to Mental Health Challenges and Life Choices. If you have something that you would like to talk about, something you would like to discuss, please, you can also email us, or you can write to us, and that information should be on the credits in the end. And take care of yourself. Bye for now.